Introducing MX Ink by Logitech. This is the mixed reality stylus for Meta Quest. It promises Meta users a new way of creating, collaborating and taking control of virtual spaces. This high precision tool is designed to pair with your Meta Quest 2 or Meta Quest 3 and has 6 degrees of freedom tracking so that it feels as natural as holding a real pen or brush. You can buy the pen on its own for $129.99 US or go for the pen and inkwell combo for $169.99, with the inkwell being a stylish charging dock for the pen when not in use. And don't miss the 2 replacement tips that you get in the box. You get one fine tip and one wide tip. The pen is charged through a standard USB-C cable. A charger and cable is not included in the box, but you can just use the one that comes with your Quest 2 or 3. And you either plug the USB-C cable into the back of the base station, or you can plug it into the pin directly, and you'll see a green flashing charging indicator to let you know that the pen is on charge. When that indicator turns solid, that means it's at a full charge. At the top of the pen is a button that acts as an on-off button, but also serves the same function as the Meta button on your controllers. There's also 3 buttons on the front of the pen. 2 of them are standard buttons, and the one in the middle is pressure sensitive, which I'll show you a bit later. The nib is also pressure sensitive, and as I said earlier, you can change it out with different styles of nibs. It might be pointier or rounder depending on your preference. To pair your pen, turn on your Meta headset and your MX Ink stylus pen. Open the Meta Horizon app on your phone, then go into devices, select the headset that you want to pair the stylus with, go into headset settings, tap controllers, pair new controller, then select pair stylus. Then it will begin looking for your stylus. Then you need to press and hold the Meta button at the top of the pen and the rear button at the same time. Hold them down for 4 seconds. It should go into pairing mode and it will eventually find and connect the stylus. Once in the headset, you'll be greeted with this rather nice looking 3D model of the pen, and you can use it in much the same way that you use your Quest controllers. Select menu items, drag and drop windows, or scroll up and down. And this is handy because it means you won't need to be switching between the pen and controllers too often. If you go to settings, then devices, you'll see the stylus options there. The options include the option to switch your dominant hand from right to left, a slider that lets you adjust the haptic vibration feedback, you can remap the buttons, and adjust the pressure sensitivity of the middle button and the nib, which is something we'll take a look at a bit more later. On the website is a list of key compatible applications, some of which we'll use now to test the pen. But just before we do, a new headset is going to be released October 15th, the Meta Quest 3S. It's just as powerful as a Meta Quest 3, but with a few downgrades, which means it can be offered at the ridiculous starting price of only $299 US. I go into more detail on what the Meta Quest 3S is and its specifications in another video, which I'll link down below. But you can pre-order it now, and if you do, you'll receive the new Batman Arkham Shadow game for free when it's released, a 3-month trial of the Meta Quest Plus subscription, which gives you a catalogue of games plus 2 curated titles each month, and if you use the special link in the description below, you'll also receive $30 of Quest cash, but only when you use that link in the description. Now back to the video. So I'm using the MX Ink stylus pen in the Painting VR app, and it feels far more natural than using a standard controller. Now, while some tools like the spray can are a bit less intuitive, they still work smoothly once you adjust your grip on the stylus. I'm using the pressure sensitive middle button to control the amount of spray, allowing me to adjust the flow of paint by applying varying levels of pressure. Now, you can customize these settings in the Quest devices menu, adjusting both the sensitivity and the initial force required to activate the button. I found it tricky to fully showcase the pressure sensitivity with the spray can, but it's much easier to demonstrate it with this unusual drill tool. Now, as you can see, the drill starts off rotating slowly, and as I apply more pressure, it speeds up. The pressure sensitivity of the middle button works well, and I found that it offered great control throughout. I then used the Meta Home button at the top of the pen to return to the Quest menu. The pen works in 3D space as well. I'm using it in Graffiti Sketch here, and it performs just as well in a 3D environment as it does on a flat canvas. I tested the pressure sensitive nib by writing on an actual pad of paper, and it felt intuitive and natural, much closer to the real thing compared to using a controller. The device settings allow you to adjust the nib sensitivity. If you set it to firm, for instance, you need to press much harder to get the same effect. In Shapes XR, the pressure sensitivity works similarly, with light pressure creating fine lines, while pressing harder produces large marks. The Logitech MX pen is said to last about 7 hours on a full charge, which is a decent amount of time. However, I did run into a few issues. In painting VR, I occasionally lost tracking, and I had trouble selecting some menu items, though this could be specific to the app and not a fault with the pen itself. I also found that certain apps use the pen better than others. For example, in Shapes XR, switching between the controller and pen felt a bit awkward. While I imagine it gets smoother with practice, it didn't feel entirely natural at first. Lastly, the pen can also be used for gaming. In the arcade game Thrasher, for instance, it worked well, and the haptic feedback added to the immersion. That said, I didn't find the pen experience all that different from using a controller in this game, and I wouldn't expect most people to use the pen primarily for gaming. Anyway, that's the MX Ink pen from Logitech. I think it's a great little device. It certainly gave me that extra control and precision when it came to drawing, sculpting and designing in virtual reality. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching as always, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye for now.